In a small town called Timberline, Colorado, a domesticated grizzly bear named Boog lives with his adoptive caretaker, a park ranger named Beth, who has raised him since he was a cub, and spends his days as the star attraction of the town's nature show. One day, hunting fanatic Shaw drives into Timberline with a one-antlered mule deer named Elliot tied to the hood of his truck. After Beth confronts Shaw, Boog frees Elliot, who becomes convinced that they are friends, and that night, Elliot finds Boog sleeping in the garage and convinces him to sneak out, and the two end up raiding Puni Mart, a local convenience store in town. Eventually, Elliot runs away while Boog is caught by Gordy, the town's sheriff and Beth's best friend, who returns Boog to Beth and tells her that Boog's feral instincts may be emerging and it may be time to release Boog into the wild. The next morning, Elliot is being chased by Shaw, and goes to Boog for help at the nature show. Boog tries to get rid of him, but the audience mistakes him for attacking Elliot and goes into a panic. Beth tranquilizes them both just before Shaw fires his own gun, then flees before Gordy can arrest him, and taking Gordy's advice, Beth relocates Boog and Elliot into the Timberline National Forest 2 days before open season. They are relocated above the waterfalls, where they will be legally safe from hunters. Boog is initially enraged to have lost his home, but lacking outdoor survival skills, he reluctantly takes Elliot as his guide to get him back home to reunite with Beth. They encounter unwelcoming forest animals, including a Scottish accented squirrel named McSquizzy and his gang of fellow acorn-throwing squirrels, Beaver Riley and his construction worker team, and Elliot's estranged herd, led by Ian, and Giselle, a doe that Elliot has a crush on. Eventually, Boog and Elliot start to bond after realizing they are both outcasts, and Boog considers letting Elliot stay with him when they get back home. The next day, Elliot attempts to help Boog leave the forest, but it becomes evident he has no clue where they are going. The two are confronted by Shaw and accidentally destroy Riley's dam trying to get away, causing a flash flood which sends the animals and Shaw plummeting down the waterfall into the hunting grounds. Everyone at first blames Boog for sending them into the hunting grounds, but Elliot manages to defend Boog from them. Boog then accuses him of lying about knowing the way, leading him to confess that he thought if Boog spent time with him, he would befriend him. Realizing Elliot has betrayed him, Boog ends his friendship with him and angrily storms off, but ends up in Shaw's log cabin. Upon discovering Shaw's taxidermy collection and Shaw returning and discovering him, Boog escapes and finds a nearby road leading back to Timberline. Realizing the danger the animals are in and seeing a few hunters pass by in their trucks, Boog returns to the woods, reconciles with Elliot, and rallies the animals to defend themselves against the hunters. They scavenge supplies from an RV owned by a traveling couple named Bob, who is mute, and Bobby, who are looking for Bigfoot, while their pet dachshund Mr. Weena joins the forest animals. The next day, Boog leads a revolution against the hunters, ending with them running away after McSquizzy blows up their trucks with a large propane tank. Shaw returns for a final showdown with Boog, but before he can shoot Boog, Elliot throws himself in front of Boog and takes the shot, prompting Boog to confront Shaw and tie him up with his own gun. Afterwards, Boog discovers that Elliot survived, only losing his other antler. The forest animals thank Boog for his help and take out their vengeance on Shaw by smothering him with honey and pillow feathers, sending him fleeing into the woods. Beth later returns in a helicopter to take Boog back home, but, having learned to appreciate his new home, he decides to stay in the forest with Beth's blessing. In a pre-credits scene, Shaw, still tarred and feathered, emerges from the woods that night, and gets run into by Bob and Bobby, who humorously mistake him for Bigfoot.